You won't believe how two quiet, invisible sisters became the center of one of the most disturbing crimes in French history. Christine and Léa Papin didn't start life with much hope. They were born into chaos, a violent father, an unstable mother, and a home filled with shouting, fear, and abandonment. One sister was placed in an orphanage, another in a convent. They grew up separated, believing the world didn't want them. The only thing they had was each other. By their early 20s, they became housemaids for the wealthy Lancelin family in Le Mans, France. For years, they did everything perfectly, quiet, obedient, almost invisible. But inside that house, something was wrong. Strict rules, constant criticism, a mistress known for her sharp tongue and impossible expectations. The sisters worked from dawn until night, rarely speaking, always together. Christine was the strong one, intense, protective, almost possessive. Léa followed behind her like a shadow. Some neighbors whispered their relationship didn't feel like sisters anymore, more like Christine controlled every part of Léa's world. And then came February 2nd, 1933, the night everything cracked. A day that started ordinary, ended in a nightmare no one could have imagined. Earlier that day, the sisters had taken an electric iron to be repaired. When they returned, it malfunctioned. Sparks, a pop, and the fuse blew, plunging the house into darkness. A simple fuse, a tiny accident, but it became the match that lit a hidden powder keg. Madame Lancelin and her adult daughter Geneviève returned home unexpectedly. They stepped into a completely dark house. Madame exploded, shouting, accusing, furious, and in that darkness, something inside Christine finally tore loose. As Madame scolded her, Christine lunged. She grabbed Madame's face with both hands. Geneviève screamed and tried to pull her away. Christine turned to her sister and shouted, "Get her! Get her!" And Léa, quiet, obedient Léa, obeyed instantly. The sisters didn't run. They didn't hesitate. They became something no one who knew them could have imagined. They didn't use guns. They didn't start with knives. They used their bare hands, their raw strength, and whatever they could grab. They tore, smashed, and beat, a frenzy of violence that matched years of buried fear, rage, and control. By the time they stopped, the mother and daughter were unrecognizable. Their eyes were later found tucked inside their scarves. Police officers said the room looked like a slaughterhouse. Two small women, two silent sisters, and violence that didn't match their size, their personalities, or their faces. And then, the most haunting part. The sisters didn't flee, they didn't hide. They walked upstairs, ran a bath, washed themselves, and then climbed into bed together, naked, calm, almost peaceful. When officers arrived, they were curled up in each other's arms, silent, emotionless, almost relieved. Christine confessed immediately. No fear, no hesitation, just one chilling sentence. "We are one soul in two bodies." She said she could not live without Léa. She said the world had always been against them. She said Madame and her daughter had pushed them to the edge. Doctors eventually concluded the sisters suffered from folie à deux, a shared psychosis, a rare mental condition where two extremely close people share the same delusions and lose touch with reality. Christine dominated, Léa followed, and together, they became dangerous. Christine was sentenced to death, later reduced to life in prison. Léa received 10 years, considered mentally weaker and fully controlled by her sister. Christine deteriorated in prison, stopped eating, and died young. Léa was released early, assumed a new identity, and lived a quiet life until her death in 1982. Nearly a century later, people are still arguing about what happened in that house. Was it childhood trauma, oppressive working conditions, a shared psychosis, or a bond so intense it became destructive? No one knows for sure. But one thing is certain. When Christine and Léa Papin finally broke, they broke together. And the world has been trying to understand the darkness behind that moment ever since. If this story chilled you, Follow for more dark, true crime tales. Hit like if you couldn't look away. Drop a comment with the part that shocked you the most. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that will haunt you long after the video ends.